right,
can
give me
see
1 sec.
Sir Robert. Sir Robert is moving. At least for me. Except now he stopped. Yep, no, it's choppy.
For me, he looks like he's in a Charlie Chaplin picture because of the ghosting on my monitor and vertical lines and the fuzzy resolution.
Seems fine to me.
Okay, I think we're back in business. I see you all moving out. You all seem to freeze to me too, which means the problem's probably on my side. But it said
stream's back.
Yeah, it said we're connected back again. So the last thing we heard is Josh said
Mal just leapt up as Finnetir tried to grapple him about the knees.
When I shove him, I say, "Hey man, leave him alone."
Whatever the fancy move is that you want to do, pick any acrobatic move to dodge out of the way. A flip, a dance move, anything.
I think he kind of grabs him by the hem of the robe and kind of like yanks him past him and kind of spins and goes right back to focus on the firing at the goose. He's just trying to fire it out of the air so that nothing gets away until it disappears from view.
You're not going to get to take all of those actions. Other people.
Yeah, Weathering, it's your turn.
I think Waitherin's just going to go back about his business. It looks like Barkus has it handled.
Yep. Barkus says, "They're fleeing, man. Why are you still shooting at them?"
Do you see those birds? Those aren't albatrosses. Those aren't gulls. Those aren't gliders. Those are fat birds that need land, man. Do you want to let those things get back and send word? I don't know about you. I don't let spies just ping me and then take word back.
Listen, sailor, I don't know what kind of vessels you may have operated on previously to this, but the Fujin is not sailing secretly. We are out here in the open, and looks like some raiders made an attempt, and they were repelled. They don't seem to be a strong military force or a problem, really.
But, I mean, they did try to pickpocket the priest.
Yes, I've wanted to do that
clearly
myself.
These guys weren't like diplomats or something.
What do I have that people want to steal from me for?
Yes, that is what I was hoping to ask you about. What do you know of this?
I just came up here for some Kraken bacon, and these guys jumped on me.
He says.
They didn't hurt me, though, and I tried to keep one of them from being killed by my compatriot here.
Well,
I see
that or not, they're the mercy of the canopy now.
Yes. I don't think we're going to save them from that. I think they're on their own, which is a terrible fate. And he goes off. You can continue shooting at the goose as it flies away.
No, I get a turn first.
That's true, you do.
What shall you do to prevent me?
I will perform
Actually,
a
Mal gets
headbutt.
a turn. No, actually, Finnetir, you've had a turn more recently than Mal. It's Mal's turn.
No, I tried to shove him. I missed, and then he shot at the goose. And then Sir Robert went back.
I said that I didn't actually get to roll again at just the goose.
Yeah, he didn't actually.
No.
It's the top
All right.
now, and Mal is first.
All right, here we go. 13.
Misses.
13 hit a goose.
Nope.
Ah!
You
I
screech
went it
right.
right underneath his belly.
Finnetir, your turn.
I headbutt him.
Roll your a d20 plus your strength. Don't take any bonuses beyond that.
5.
How does a 5 do against your armor class, Mal?
Not sufficient.
Your head clangs off of whatever armor he's got. Or you just bump against his chest or something.
I am wearing a hard metal breastplate, so
Donk.
I do have 2-weapon fighting. Can I headbutt him again?
One with each head.
twice
No.
with my other forehead.
Everybody has 2-weapon fighting, and it doesn't mean very much.
Cool.
Arcus is striding away. You're going to shoot again? You have 300 feet of range on this. You're going to get a couple more shots at this goose if you want.
That's what I was thinking.
Some other sailors come and they're like, what you shooting at, man?
Goose. Looks tasty.
Huh. Funny.
Grab a bow. I'm just trying to get everybody to join in. That's a 16 and a 14.
Yeah, the goose, are you going to also push it? Or
Oh,
just
yeah. I'm going to, if it's trying to fly too low, I'll blast it up. And if it's flying too high, I'll blast it down.
I mean, you don't really get, you just blast it away from you.
Yeah, sure.
You see, it's pretty far away. It's like, 150 feet away or something by this point. And you do succeed in hitting it with your incredible sniper-like accuracy. And there's a, did you ever see that YouTube video with Randy Johnson?
Yes.
Just imagine
He definitely throws his second hex on there and puts extra stank on it.
you see an explosion of light feathers.
Awesome. That's just fantastic.
There's no more target. The ship continues on into the clouds.
Just kind of hoping to eat the rest of that. Wait, is there any part of it? So that was 150 feet away. It was too far. Never mind. All right.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Any of you who have other stuff that's going on this morning, that's the surprise event that happens in the morning. But any other things that you were thinking of doing or plans that you have for the day, feel free.
I'd like to go talk to Weathering.
You may do so. You're in the same. He's the harpooner in your boat. You're working together from the very beginning of the day, doing chores and stuff. So
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. So after Weathering returns from the encounter with the geese, Tashash comes over to him and says, "Oh,
Weathering, that's you, Sir Robert.
Sorry, say it again.
I
got
can't hear you.
distracted.
You're moving, but you're muted. Or I don't think you're muted, but
Sorry, say it again. I got distracted by something happening.
he said, "Oh," or something.
Can you
oh no, he
can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when Weathering comes back from the
I'm
from
back.
the
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry. The first thing I heard back was Weathering, that's you.
Welcome back. We're having a scene between Tashash and Weathering. Tashash is Dave. Weathering is Sir Robert. Go.
right. So when Weathering comes back to the boat from the encounter with the goose, Tashash comes over and starts working next to him, and he says, "Hello."
Hi. You're Gravy, right?
Yes, that is what they call me.
Great. How you doing? I'm Weathering.
What do you know of my
Introduce each
people?
other.
What's that?
You don't need introductions. You've been working together for days in intense situations.
That
You
does
saved
not mean
each
that
other from
Weathering
death.
remembers that they've met each other. Sorry, go ahead.
Talked much.
You're the chap that cut off that tentacle that was about to flay me alive. Thank you. Thank you.
Teamwork. Tasha says, "Have you ever seen a lizard before?"
Yeah, I've seen a couple of your kind.
Where?
Back at the Citadel, in the capital, there are all kinds of people in the capital. I've never known one as a good friend or anything, but I've seen you around. Your kind.
How big were they?
About your size, ballpark.
He nods and then thinks for a minute.
Good talk.
But that is all.
Well, I
You
mean,
have not seen any out on the cloudy sea, have you? Other than me.
no.
not.
I mean, I've seen like regular, like animal lizards before, the little ones.
Oh, just the little ones.
Sure, and normal sorts of things. I have not seen any lizards out on the sea besides you that I know of.
No very big ones.
Not that I know of. Not that I have noticed.
You're sure?
No, I'm not sure, but I don't recall any.
I love his complete lack of faith in your ontology.
So, Robert, Weatherin knows that there are such things as dinosaurs,
Okay.
which are like extremely large lizards, and there
Sure.
are also such things as dragons, which are a little bit like extremely large lizards.
Mm-hmm.
And there are places in the Elven Empire where dinosaurs live in the forest,
Okay.
and some of them are even tamed, although it's not as big of a deal to the elves having tamed dinosaurs as it is to the lizard folk, for whom they are like important herd animals.
Okay.
Dragons are intelligent and are not like beasts,
Okay.
the way lizard men are.
Then in that Watherin is from a kind of backwater elven area and he's a significant minority, like a very small minority of the elven, his kind of elven. So he says, yeah, I mean we've had some like really large lizards back where I come from that have been tamed, and I've never seen a dragon, but I know of them. Is that helpful? I haven't seen either of them out here on the cloudy sea, though.
I see. Thank you.
Sure.
If you see one, especially a very big one, will you let me know?
Sure. I don't see a problem with that. Is there...
Thank
Are you expecting to see one out here?
Tashash pauses for a rather conspicuous amount of time. He looks confused. I don't know.
Okay. Well, fair enough. I'll tell you what, though. If you see one, will you let me know?
Yes.
It's a deal. We'll do that we'll do that for each other. Oh,
Like
and
D&D Rain Man
Waither
every
gives him
single week.
a simple but fake secret handshake. One that Watherin can remember. That's right.
Surely
Man.
Watherin knows the
Great
document. Watherin knows the documents for such an arrangement.
That's right.
Being a
Tashash
clerical
still
man.
hasn't figured out how to do a proper handshake.
Cool.
So, Finitier would like to, across the course of this day, possibly more, I'm not sure,
Mhm.
talk to Weatherin and Gravy and finally Mal, and invite them to a gathering in his stateroom. I don't know what it's called.
Quarters.
quarters.
Sure. And just a note for Matt, that Watherin is getting not uncomfortable exactly, but increasingly he's letting his guard down less and less, because he's been sensing, with the presence of the drow and with the weird Mal thing that happened with the Kraken hunting and other, he occasionally fires off his detect good and evil stuff. He's just getting a vibe that's making him not quite suspicious of anything yet, not quite uneasy, but he's not like relaxing and letting down. So rather than wearing his leather armor, he's been using the chain armor as he's walking around, and he has a small shield that his normal shield, and he always keeps it on his back. But it's not like an encumbrance to work. It just makes him hotter, but whatever. Just to let you know, that's kind of Watherin's state right now, is that he's
maintaining battle readiness.
Yeah, he's just prior to edginess.
Okay. Yeah, so the priest...
You need sentient armor for a magic item that, like, increases an armor level with your level of, like, agitation and threat. Yeah. Anyway.
That'd be fun. Yeah. Go ahead. Do what you would do when invited to the priest's quarters.
It's like when we're off duty or something, right? Oh, sorry. Hey, Fennetir, you're talking about like after we're done with our chores, right? With our work.
Yeah. When you have free time, I'd like to gather in my quarters.
Sure, I'll be there. And then presumably I go about my business and show up at the appointed time.
How about the rest of you? And is there anybody else who you're inviting, such as, for instance, Sarah, who is...
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go.
If Mal is invited, he certainly appears.
Tell me from the door.
Mal is invited.
Abby?
Mal was more excitedly invited before this morning, but now he is invited at the last moment with slight reluctance.
Mal pops up out of his hammock or wherever, and he had just settled down to do a bit of scrimshaw work, and he joins the meeting.
Okay.
Commence.
Hello, fellows.
Hello.
Hello. I have
How are
brought
you?
here. I am doing all right.
Good.
How are you, Gravy? Have you gotten any good gravy recently?
No, there is not much gravy on this boat.
Sorry,
It is
man.
unfortunate.
We should see if we can make some Kraken gravy.
Yeah, Kraken gravy.
I
I made
would-
some Kraken bacon.
Tashash kind of perks up at this and he says, "Oh, I would like that."
I will come up with a check that you can roll to invent Kraken gravy.
The juice from the eyeball is particularly salty and sweet.
Probably history and medicine. Anyway.
Fennetir hands out some little wooden cylinders that
What
look like
Mal takes
Are
it.
claves.
these like religious tracts?
Everybody gets 2, and he starts clicking them together. Click, 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 click.
Mal tries to do it.
Click, click, click.
Gentlemen,
click,
join me in making jolly music.
Click, click, click.
Watherin
click,
says,
Click, click, click.
click,
Why?
Click, click, click.
You'll see.
Click, click,
Let's make jolly.
Is this-
click,
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 click.
click?
If this
I
is
do
something-
offer drinks also.
If there's some kind of like slacker god involved in this, I'm not sure Oberon's gonna be up for me doing this.
Click, 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 click.
Now, gentlemen,
click,
Gravy, you
click,
keep doing what you're doing.
Click, 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 click,
And
click,
Fennetir's clicking
click,
also
click, click,
occasionally. And he's speaking kind of lowly, quietly. And the room's small anyway, so everybody's head's real close together. So I'm speaking just loud enough to spread to these people's ears. I say, you may have noticed in your combat the blessing of Pan assisting you in your attacks. I've been blessing us as we've gone out into battle each time. And I also talked to Pan.
Okay, Dave.
Mal is dying laughing in the background, watching Tashash go click, 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 as though his claws don't already click together.
I think the video call likes it better when one person talks at a time. So we'll take it as read that you're clicking away in the background, and our listeners can imagine it. Thank you for your good acting.
Dedication.
Okay. So then I pull out. I set down my wood tubes, and I pull out my ship model that I've repaired, and I show it to everyone. And I say, Pan has told me. Do y'all remember also when we left, there was that guy blathering about our ship being doomed?
Yeah, the rather memorable one whose words preceded some sort of semi-direct revelation.
Yes. Well, Pan has told me that is, in fact, true. That this ship is doomed.
That makes sense. We're here to die.
He's also revealed to me that we don't have to die.
Disagree.
I'm listening. Mal's like, I'm listening. Go on. He says that after Waithrin says disagree.
Tashash stops clicking.
Well, Finitier picks up and clicks while he talks. He pulls out the tiny little boulder and he says, Pan showed me that the Kraken that we fought was like a tiny little pebble. And this boulder was larger than this room when he threw it at this ship and smashed it to bits. And so, do you remember fighting the Kraken that we fought? We were able to defeat it. We're not going to be able to defeat this Kraken that the captain is searching for, unless
not with that attitude.
We work together and fulfill. There's things Pan has me sent to get a book, and he says with the book he will be able to counter that god, whatever his name was, that said doom on the ship. I believe
Paylor.
you guys, Paylor, I believe you guys also have powerful things that you're seeking besides just this big Kraken.
Mal starts giving him the slow clap. He's like, this guy's good. He's actually a good priest.
If we can get
This is why I'm not a priest. I couldn't do this. I couldn't give people this kind of guidance. Good.
If we get these items, we don't have to die. That's all I'm saying. And if y'all don't want to work together to do this,
that's all I've been trying to do this whole time. Why didn't you just tell me there was a book that could defeat Inma? Where do we need to
I'm
go?
not sure we can defeat Inma, but it can make Pan counter what's his head.
Yeah. Pit God against God. This is perfect. Yeah. This is exactly the kind of win we've been looking for. We've got to leverage this. This is a tactical opportunity. What are you waiting for? Like Mal's looking around at the other two who aren't like jumping up and down for joy.
So
Tashash is making himself very small.
He's making himself small, you said?
Yeah.
So let me understand this. Just help me understand your proposition here. Weird little clacky sticks aside. You're telling me that Pan here says that if we work together, we can escape our fate of dying. And for some reason, it's important for us, and, casts a sidelong look over at Mal, to work together.
It's
And
not quite how it went. Han told me that if I find this book that he told me to find, he could use that. I don't think that I can make this ship go to where that book is by myself.
So, humor me for a moment. Help me to understand. But it sounds like you all are afraid of meeting your deaths, even though that is what we are fated here to do. Go, achieve your goals, and die. That's what we're here. That's what's going to happen here.
I think you and I both know that we are fated to take a shot at Enma. Is that fair? Do you think your God is with you at least to that precipice?
All I know is that this is the road for me to travel, and I will die on it.
Well, then help us get to the fight. Help us get to Enma, and we'll get you a front row seat.
I will tell you what I will do. I am looking for something, as Fennetir here says. Looking for something important to my order and to Oberon.
Mm-hmm.
I will help if you help me.
That's the goal.
All right?
Could this possibly appease Oberon and cause him to sway his wrath?
Different god.
What's that?
Halor is the one who spoke doom over us.
Yeah.
I always get you pagans mixed up.
It is understandable to confuse Pelor with Oberon coming from some positions.
I'm kidding. I grew up knowing all the gods.
So,
Mal says, embarrassed.
Pelor is nothing. None of those gods are anything. All that matters is that we honor Oberon, and the way to do that is to find this person I am looking for. Now, if you help me find him, I will help you with this book, if I were to survive it. Waithrin is deeply skeptical that he'll survive finding the person, so he's willing to commit. I will help you do everything in my power to help you on with your book and your whatever. And the person that I'm seeking will know. He is a seer, and he will know more about your books, about your, I don't know, whatever things y'all are looking for, gravies, recipes, whatever. The seer is the greatest seer the world has known, and if we find him, we'll know what we need to know about this voyage.
So it seems to me like we're currently heading towards Nebulaster's Perch. And I've heard Gravy going on and on about getting to Nebulaster's Perch. I say we get to Nebulaster's Perch. We don't fight. We keep going. We get to Nebulaster's Perch. Then we go and look for my book.
Your book is on the other side of the sea, my friend. Where
On
is
the other
your
side of what?
paladin?
On the other side of what?
On the other side of the sea. You said that your book was to the south. We are going to be going north.
I don't know where the seer is, but I'm willing to help us get to Nebulaster. He probably knows this sea better than anyone else. But wait. Sorry. Sorry, take that back. I need to go to the
Air Mountain.
Air Mountain.
Which is
I
in
need
the
to get
south.
to Air Mountain. And at the first opportunity, my intent is to talk to the captain and ask if he will dispatch me with another crew member to Air Mountain to find him. I have strong reason to believe that he lies there. If we can go get him from Air Mountain, he can tell us many things, though I know not exactly what.
But you say that you don't think you're going to survive this meeting?
A god has told us that we will die, and honestly, my life is nothing in comparison with what success on this voyage would bring. If ours is to die, then let us go and die. But as we do it, let's achieve our aim.
So you believe that the ultimate destiny of this ship is a great one?
I believe so.
Well, then that makes two.
Probably the greatest achievement in 2,000 years.
Well, a Kraken is a formidable foe.
If the ship meets the Kraken in its current state, the ship will be destroyed and nothing will ever be told of it.
So how is this? You go on to Nebulaster's palace or whatever. Help me persuade the captain, not for all of us, but at least for me and my Eric Hochran friend, to go back to Air Mountain, to send an envoy to Air Mountain of me and him. And I will, while we're there, I will inquire and find out what we can about the book, the Kraken, whatever it is. Help me get there. And for whatever it's worth, if it means anything to you, I will forego all of my pay. You can have it if the captain is willing. I don't care anything about any of that. None of it matters to me.
As you are talking,
And
while
clicking.
this is going on, you hear a bang against the side of the ship, a huge crunch, and the ship rocks.
We better go see what that is.
You hear sailors shouting from upstairs.
Mal's running.
Yeah, Watherin's out the door immediately.
Just quickly, I do say, keep this close.
Fair enough.
Keep what we were talking about close as they're running.
Tashash is the last one out the door.
Oh, I don't know about that.
He's reaching around trying to finish off the booze in a couple of bottles in the corner.
Venator gives him a slow kick push out the door.
As
A
he
shield jump.
Okay, so Watherin's on deck.
When you come up on deck, you see that you've drawn closer to the cloud line than yet before. The forest to the right, closer to the edge, is safer. That is where the trees bunch up thickly in order to cling to the areas of dry land on the cloud line. To the left of you is what the maps consider the northeastern end of the ragged edge. If you were to venture far in that direction, it would only be at night and with the utmost care. There's a particular geographical feature that has been occurring every few miles or so, like a spike or a fang of rock jutting up from the edge, with the water flowing around it on both sides and the forest growing right up to it, sinking roots greedy for anchorage into the lower part of the stone. Still 100 miles or so from Nebulaster's perch, you're passing one of these when a huge rock has come hurtling out of the sky and crashed into the ship. Huge. But siege
As was
weapon.
foretold.
When you look up, you can see standing on the top of a kind of structure a tower that has been built into the side of the stone fang that you are closest to, is a huge figure, twice the height of an elf, reaching back and making ready to hurl another stone. This one falls just short of the Fujin. As the Fujin, by the time you guys get up onto deck, has wheeled around and made a big 180-degree turn, and is heading away from this fang of stone, and has passed just out of what appears to be just out of range of these rocks that are being thrown. Weatherin, Captain Gorio approaches you. This is a great annoyance. It seems we must now negotiate safe passage with this giant. And by negotiate safe passage, my friend, I mean kill a giant. I want you and whoever you pick to go over there.
Dramatic.
Sorry, say it again.
Mal was looking really concerned that things were about to break diplomatic and he was going to lose all respect for Gorio. And then suddenly Mal gets this huge grin on his face.
I want you and whoever you pick and this grinning idiot to go over there with Barkus. Officially, I am ordering you to escort my first mate to parley with this native, as is proper and legal. But I am also ordering you to make those rocks stop. This ship is passing this strait. And he turns and goes back to his cabin. Barkus says, now, I don't think that he'll be able to hit one of the boats with these rocks. The boats are too small from this distance. Ostensibly, in Elven law, we're supposed to bargain with them, so I will bring some gold with me. But really, as far as we, in our experience, a stone giant doesn't bargain. And when they do, they can't be trusted to honor the agreement that they've made, so sometimes they fight, sometimes they don't. It's hard to tell why. And that is where we are going to take our 10-minute break. We will be back at 9 p.m. as our adventurers load into one of the boats and head out towards the spire of rock.
Negotiations.
All right.
Welcome back to part 2, or possibly part 3 of the Starfall Collective Season 2, Episode 7. You guys are in a... I'm presuming that the 4 of you come, whether and it's up to you to invite them or not.
Yeah.
When Tashash hears that when Tashash hears Barkus say that Weatherin's going to need people, he quickly comes up to Weatherin and says, I will go with you. May I go with you?
So Weatherin is taking this roughly to mean because he has something like military experience and whatever, that he's going to be...
As a paladin.
Sorry, say it again.
As a paladin.
Yeah, as a paladin. Yep. And also, you said Barkus is going.
Mm-hmm.
Barkus and I'm putting together the armed escort for Barkus, effectively.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, great. So Weatherin wants to go. Is there, how many people should I take? Is there a boat size? Is there any kind of indicator of that?
Boats hold 6.
Boats hold 6. Okay. So that's 4 of us, Barkus, and possibly somebody else. Cool. I want to go and grab Fennetir and tell him, Fennetir, you don't need to fight, but you do need to come. You have been very useful in blessings and in helping us to do that kind of thing. So I need you to come and be with us as a healer and support and a spellcaster.
Tashash comes up behind Weatherin and, not like violently, but hand on the shoulder and says, I would like to come too.
And Weatherin glances at him and says, okay, just a moment. And finishes telling Fennetir what Fennetir's role is going to be.
Sounds good to me, man.
I have seen Tashash both freak out and also be able to do a bit of combat. So I tell Tashash, I am willing for you to come, but you must obey me when you went on the mission.
When you say he's been especially when you didn't initially respond to him,
Mm-hmm.
he's been you've noticed him getting a little more, slightly more agitated.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say that he can come, he noticeably settles down.
Okay. And so
and appears to, very much appears to relax.
and
he says, yes, I can do that.
you'll obey my commands.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then
Mal just kind of falls on Watherin's neck and just hugs him as he kind of hangs off of him. He's like, bless you and God be with you.
and Watherin has a hand up between them and kind of pushes him away, holds him at distance, and discreetly checks to make sure he wasn't pickpocketed or anything. And
Mal would like to make a perception check to see if Mal notices this guy basically ostentatiously checking. Fortunately, it's very
Weatherin?
low, and I'm sure he's able to do it surreptitiously. All
Okay.
right.
What?
It was going to be a contested charisma check versus perception.
Should I do that?
We don't have to.
Okay, great. So Watherin just tells Mal, wait, and asks Barkus, and also if Watherin just knows this, if there's any of the crew who have any meaningful combat experience. I just need, in case there's one other person.
It's risky enough sending the first mate and one of the harpooneers.
Fair enough.
All the harpooneers are mighty in battle, but I would rather not.
Okay, and I tell Mal, then I turn and tell Mal and say, I will have you come on this on the condition that you obey every command I give you.
What's your mission?
We are escorting Barkus to negotiate with the
Stone giant.
the stone giant, and to ensure that he does not attack us with any more rocks.
And the captain's final command was, we will.
The captain's
go
final
through.
command, as far as you're concerned, is that you obey me on this mission.
All right. I'm in.
All right.
My sword is yours.
And I turn to Barkus and loudly say, our lives depend on this going well. If any of them don't obey, I'm going to kill them.
As Mal says, my sword is yours, a shadow blade emerges from his hands, and he's suddenly gripping a long-handled, long 2.5-foot greatsword.
Watherin is noticeably undaunted. Okay, so
Barkus says, well, I would prefer if you would bind them and bring them back to the ship for discipline, but the captain did put you in charge, and I realize that there are, in a military or in a fight situation, a battle type situation, that somebody has to be in charge, and it's going to be you this time, so I suppose that's fine.
And so we're ready. I go grab my stuff. I tell everybody, hey, meet back in the boat. 10 minutes. Get anything you need from your quarters, and let's go.
Mal walks up shoulder to shoulder with Watherin and says, when the time comes to kill, you'll give the word.
As far as you're concerned, you'll know exactly what to do. Watherin is not going to kill anybody. When they all leave, I'd like to also say to Barkus, just privately with us, to tell him, to say, Barkus, I understand what's happening here, and I understand what's necessary here. I get it. If you're comfortable negotiating with the stone giant, fantastic. If you'd like me to, I have some diplomatic skill. I'm happy to negotiate. Basically, Watherin has done this before and has a high charisma, high persuasion, all that. So let me know. But other than that, we're going to guard you. And if you're in danger, we're going to protect you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll really, the captain has his own style, but I would like to see this done without violence if possible.
Agreed.
The captain obviously loves to see buckets of blood spilled every which way. You know him. But let's go.
Watherin holds that in his heart.
You know the captain. He's a bloodthirsty
piece
of work.
It's one thing to be bloodthirsty for Krakens. It's another thing to be bloodthirsty for,
Right, I suppose this is a bit of a revelation.
Are there any creatures like seals or something at that, like a really, really large crustacean kind of thing that clings to the side of solid land? Anything that would be a noticeable target of a medium size or something?
You mean like animals that would be living on the rock?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What you see are seagulls.
Okay.
There are maybe a dozen seagulls just sort of circling and flying around this spire as your boat approaches.
As soon as a seagull gets within 150 feet, I blast. Maintain a 150-foot perimeter.
Watherin says, "Stop attacking everything now. Those are the stone giants. Don't cast another spell."
How many did you cast? I mean,
This is on seagulls, not the giants.
They belong to the giant.
But roll attack on the seagulls for however many.
Sure. I mean, Watherin, how many do you think Mal would have fired off before you? Okay, so one.
The first time you started casting a spell, he's going to smack your hand and say, "Stop it."
I think you're able to. I mean, if you guys want to roll initiative, we can see how this really goes. But I think he gets one spell off.
Have we? Wait, we haven't. Sorry, we haven't left yet.
Oh, sorry, I narrated that we left.
Oh shoot, sorry. I wanted to. You said we could go do some stuff. I just wanted to see if I could scavenge a couple of spare javelins.
You do so.
How many?
Roll a d6. That many.
Spare
okay,
what?
sweet. Javelins.
Javelins. Okay.
Oh, whoops.
Cool.
D6. 6. Woohoo! Tashash comes back armed to the teeth.
Did you roll? Did you give me that attack roll?
An 11 to attack a seagull.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
It's another Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
Seagulls do not do well around this group.
Another rock comes sailing as the outline of the giant chucks it at you. It misses the boat and crashes into the forest around you. And then Weathering grabs you by the arm.
And I tell everybody, ignore everything. We're just going to go. Don't worry about anything.
My fingertips go wide, and I very ostentatiously pantomime putting my hands in my pockets. And I bow.
Great.
Tashash puts a hand on Watherin's arm and says, "A question, if I may. Do we require a stealthy approach?"
No, not this time. We're going and we're going to negotiate. We're going to negotiate. We are going in order to negotiate peacefully. So we're not trying to surprise him. We're not trying to sneak up. Letting him know he's going to see that we're coming.
Yes. Okay. Very good.
Great. So we're following Barkus's lead and surrounding him not surrounding him, but like we're an entourage immediately behind him and around.
Hey, can I make real quick before we really emerge out of the mist? I recognize that these are rock giants. What is the next step up in terms of giant type from rock? Is it hill?
No. It would be fire, I believe. Fire giants are higher than them. Okay.
So I cast Alter Self, and I now look like a fire giant. I'm proportionately, it looks kind of odd because I'm only my height, and it's kind of a fire giant's appearance, pretty much aped over my frame, but bulkier, right? So Mal now looks like a fire giant.
You have red skin and like flame-like red hair and beard, and are generally giving off the appearance of heat and anger. Although not actually giant-sized, you do have the distinctive sequoia-like build of one of these giants.
I mutter to the others, "Get down if you can, crouch if you can." And I try to make a giantish grunt, like, "Ugh!"
And I say, "Ignore that, cut that out, Mal. Stop it."
I turn, like, the giant looks at me like, "What, I'm improvising."
Did he stop it?
Mal is himself again.
Fine. Right.
Sorry.
Don't cast
Thought
any
it would
more
be helpful
spells.
to have somebody that they might respect.
Don't
as
cast
an image.
any more spells until I tell you to. If you do, you're going back to the boat.
Okay. I won't attack anybody, and I won't cast any more spells. And again, he sticks his hands in his pockets and spins and walks away.
I mean, you're in the boat still.
He spins and takes a step away.
All right.
As you draw closer, a kind of fishy smell and a waft of smoke reaches your nose. You can see that where the cloudy sea meets this stone spire, somebody has built out a courtyard. It's very ornate. The tiles of the courtyard are carved in stone squares. There's a kind of balustrade. There's it's that architectural style that you would recognize. I said it, but I can't think of it right now.
Rococo?
No. It's fine. I'll get to it.
Brutalist?
No. But it's very
Art Deco.
angular. It's Art Deco. It's a very Art Deco sort of style, very angular, lots of straight lines everywhere.
And cavernous
So-
space.
In this there's a flat courtyard that is something like 10 feet deep by 50 feet wide, and you can approach that with the boat and drag the boat up on that. You do still see the figure of the giant up above, so I want to stop the narration and give you guys a chance to decide what to do. Barkus says, I say what we do is we pull the boat up onto that courtyard and we drag it inside real quick. You can see that there's a door that leads into the inside of the tower that's been carved out of the stone. So we drag it in real quick so that it can't drop any rocks on us.
I wave to Josh and I say, shelter. And I point at my eyes in the horizon. And the two of us, hopefully at least the two of us, are going to make survival checks to look to see if we can find a safe place to pull the ship in so that it'll be protected from these rocks.
Right. Barkus did that, and he saw that there is a door that leads to the inside.
Well, I'm saying, is that like a level 17 good call, or was that only like
Sure.
a level 12 good call?
You guys can go ahead and make checks.
Okay. I mean, mine is a 17. I don't know
Okay.
how well Barkus did.
Mine's a 6. I say we should burn the boats.
The best defense is
we-
good offense.
If we burn the boat,
Whoa!
we can't destroy it.
They can't destroy the boat if we do first. Ah!
I got a 10.
With your 17, you see that there is. So your options for disguising the boat are, as Barkus says, this is the obvious way to shelter it from rocks coming from above is to take it inside the building. The other possibility is that you could somehow get it below the canopy. So maybe tie it to the trees below you, drag the boat down. That's really a huge pain and bother and a big risk because it's tough climbing around in these trees. But it is possible to get one of these boats, if you put it at an angle, you can capsize it and, secure it under the line of the trees. That would require a lot of checks. It's really not great. Another thing that you see as you approach when you're
Are you
looking
saying that
around-
this house is going to provide natural cover from falling rocks?
No, the canopy would not provide any cover from the rocks, but it would make it much harder to hit because you wouldn't be able to see it.
If we go in the door, will we have cover?
He's not going to want to destroy his own thing.
Gotcha.
As far as according to Barkus's theory, he's unlikely to be throwing rocks inside his own house. Another thing that you see is there is a small ship, smaller than the Fujin, but larger than your boat. It's got one mast. There's a mast that is sticking out and broken off at the top. That to your right, and actually to the right of the courtyard, inside of the foggy sea, you start to be able to see part of the broken deck sticking out at an angle and the mast sticking up. So Robert, why don't you roll me just any sort of perception related thing?
Sure. Okay. 7.
Okay. Yeah, it's a sunken ship. Sunken.
Yeah. I tell Barkus, look, we need to prioritize protecting the boat and also an expedient retreat if necessary. So I say we put the boat where you said under the cover of the door, in the doorway, whatever, because that'll be the easiest way to get back in it and launch out. You know, if we need
Barkus
to
says,
retreat.
that seems fine to me as well. So you guys are going to go do that?
Yep, and I tell the other guys, while we're there, I want Gravy, I want you to stand on Barkus's left. I will stand on Barkus's right. Mal, you get behind me, and Fennetir, you get behind Gravy. So we're kind of making a sort of box like this with Barkus there.
In the center of the diamond.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fennetir does that.
The two of you that have you guys are sailors and you know how to do this, but I do want you to make a check to see how quickly and well you can do this maneuver with the boat to get the boat inside, jumping out of the boat, hauling it up onto the courtyard and hauling it in. So you can help each other, which is, I guess, just all roll survival, and whichever is the highest, Barkus will roll too.
Okay.
5.
13.
13.
I try to stay out of the way.
You guys are kind of stumbling and tripping on stuff, and Barkus is like, I thought you were sailors. And he tells Tashash, you pick that thing up there and put your foot on this thing. And he tells Weather, and you grab this here. And Barkus kind of takes command and shepherds you through the process and, gets you to where you're trying to go. The boat, this door is 16 feet high, probably like 5 feet wide. It's a much larger than elven-sized door. And you go ahead and you pull the boat onto the inside. As you do that, another rock comes crashing down into the canopy. It does seem that the giant is loath to drop rocks on his own handiwork, the ornately carved courtyard. He maybe could have dropped a rock on you while you were there, but doesn't seem to have. At this point, you can hear him yelling, "Demons! Demons!" from far above you. A moment goes by as your eyes adjust to the much dimmer light on the inside of this tower. Do anything, say anything?
Look around to see what's the way to get to where the stone giant is.
Okay. You're in a space that is maybe 40 by 40 feet wide. The door that you came in is to your south. This room is maybe 120 feet high. There are spiral staircases, or there's a staircase that is carved into the inside wall that sort of circles up the space. Not circles, but, squares. But it makes it spiral along the outside of the wall. Sorry, the inside of the wall of the room that you're in.
Where is it in the room?
It starts from your right.
Okay.
There are windows with no glass, just holes in the side of the structure that let in some light and some breeze. The walls are carved in beautiful angular geometrical arabesques over almost the whole space, the work of a skilled craftsman. As your eyes get used to the dark or the change in the lighting conditions, you see a dark hole in the floor to the north that is shut with a sturdy wooden door in the way that this front door was not shut. And next to that hole, there's another open door to the northeast that looks like it's leading out into possibly another courtyard like the one to the south. Another thing that you see in here act like a statue, or say about a couch-sized slab of white marble that is floating in the center of the room, about 10 feet up.
You said about 10 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Barkus, it looks like the stairs are probably the way to get to him. I don't see any reason for us to be looking around at other things in his tower, but up to you.
Aye. Let's go.
All right. So the stairs wide enough for two abreast, or what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. These stairs
They're
are
giant.
yeah, they're built for a very large person. It's easy to climb them. Not easy. It's difficult to climb them because of the size of the steps is much larger than
Yeah.
is comfortable for you, but it's only really uncomfortable. It's not like impossible, like you'd have to make a skill check. You're not climbing, you can still walk.
Yeah.
And it's far wide enough for three of you to walk abreast up the stairs.
Okay. Then we can just keep our order that we were in.
Okay. Yeah, so you leave the boat down there and mount up the stairs?
I guess.
Mal would like to make a history check to see if he can remember what the thing that you shout out to try to initiate parley or a ceasefire or something like that. If giants have that, does he remember that from his history of being a sailor on the sea?
Or something that you can yell to make giants think you're not demons.
When we get closer, Waitherin's going to ask Barkus if he can, go walk a step or two ahead of him and let him know, like, we're coming in peace, that kind of thing.
I think speaking common and saying things like "we're coming in peace" will be about as good as you can do if the giant speaks common. Not all giants do, but this one has been seems to have been yelling the word demons in common, so it probably
Cool. Do we have a sense of how far away the giant is?
It seems to be on the top of the tower, which is about 120 feet up from where you are. So you'll be climbing for a good long way.
Okay.
These stairs make like 5, maybe not 5, but they make a good number of loops before they get to the top.
All right. Sounds good.
Cool. So you're going to stop before you get to the door to the top floor?
Yeah,
So you can
makes
yell?
sense to me.
Okay. So the stairs lead, there's not really much of a landing. The stairs pretty much lead right to another one of these open doors without any, barrier at all, just an open hole in the
Just
wall.
an archway.
An archway, yeah. And outside of it, you can see the typical square construction on the floor, but you don't see anything except you're looking out at the sky. Maybe 10 feet from that door.
Okay. I tell Barkus, I'm going to go out and check, make sure, see what's out there. You want to wait here for a moment?
Sure.
Sure thing.
I do that. Take a few steps out the door, to see where we are.
Mm-hmm.
See what I can see.
Okay, make a perception check as you look around.
Alrighty. Brutal. A 6.
So what you see is first thing that you notice is a pile of handy throwing rocks. These would be pretty heavy for you to lift and definitely heavy for you to try and throw.
Mm-hmm.
And up here, the wind is rather strong. It whips your hair around, and it's you have got an insanely good view if you took the time to look. You also see a large stone chest, but it doesn't look like there's very much up here. It's a 20-foot by 20-foot square, and along the east wall, the spire of stone continues up. That is sort of rough and unhewn. You don't see anybody.
Okay. I say, let's see. Hello, we come in peace.
Roll initiative.
All right.
18.
13. 12. Sorry, 12, not 13.
14.
11.
What was yours again, Fenetier?
14.
All right. So the wall, I'm going to draw my little diagram here real quick so that I know what's going on.
So it's to maintain the theater of the mind.
So Weatherin, what happens is that the giant who has been standing very still up against this rough stone wall to the east steps away from the wall with its club and swings its gigantic, huge club at you, having surprised you. This is its surprise round.
Okay.
How is a 24 against your armor class?
It hits.
Take 18 points of damage.
Brutal. Okay.
The giant folds its arms and says, "Demons, get out of here. Go back where you came from, or I'll do to you what I did to the others."
Okay. And I'm near the door.
It is Mal's turn. You have heard the crunch as a club hits Weatherin, and you've seen through the door as this happens. You don't see the giant. The giant is, but through the outline of the door, you can see Weatherin get hit.
All right, so demons are not. Demons are always a certain, kind of color scheme and look and everything. They're not elves, right? Especially not glitzy, glamoury at their most elfiness elves. Mal casts Alter Self on himself. Suddenly his hair is like vibrantly amethyst, like the most amethyst color that any Eladrin has ever had. His skin is like ivory white, and his eyes, glow green or blue or whatever. Some very, very Eladrin color. And he says, "We are not demons."
Are you coming out? You're currently standing on the stairs, and you haven't come out onto the courtyard, onto the roof yet. Are you coming out?
Yeah, he's going to show his face, his obviously elven-looking hair and skin and everything.
Okay. So you come out onto the courtyard, and you see the giant with his arms folded, and he's saying something to Weatherin. And what do you say again?
"We are not demons. We are elves." And he says it, and he puts on the, can he make a performance check to try to seem...
You're very, very elven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, considering that I am an elf and I'm just trying to, basically be a caricature of myself.
Stereotypically elven? Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
so that they don't miss any of the cues. Yeah. That's a 21.
Let's see. The giant says, I saw your tainted magic. You shot from your boat. It's the same magic. It's the same magic. Fennetir, it's your turn.
I will go over to what's his name?
Watherin?
Watherin, yes. And kind of grab him on the shoulders to cast Cure Wounds, which is a 1d8. You get +4 of your hit points back.
Okay, thank you.
Tashash.
And if I can pull him out of the way, I do that, but I don't think I can.
You could use some of your movement to drag him.
Yeah, I'll drag him if he's still prone.
If he's willing to be dragged, then you can drag him at a cost of like, I don't know, you could drag him almost anywhere on the courtyard or back out onto the stairs.
I drag him back out on the stairs if he's willing.
I bat his hands away. Hey, I don't know how the rules of this work. Can I talk during the other people's turns and stuff?
Usually it'd have to be your turn, but I'm sort of allowing it.
Okay.
You can have a little conversation.
I would
If
just
it's
say
your turn, it can be like,
I want to say to the giant, look at this magic. This is not demon magic with the healing, because he cast cure or whatever he cast.
mhm.
Yeah, I said, I had to say something, right? Yeah, verbal and somatic. So I touched him and said, Con Don Doob.
That sounds right. Tashash, your turn.
Be gone, boo boo.
Tashash is gonna I guess Tashash is gonna take up a defensive position near Barkus. You know, like protecting Barkus. And he's also going to use he's going to mark the giant with Slayer's Prey.
A nice diplomatic opening.
What does that look like when you do that?
What does what look like?
When you
Player's Prey.
when you use this, when Tashash uses this ability, is it just in your
Please,
mind?
can it look like the Predator heat map?
Sure, I don't know.
Is it just something-
I think he just focuses very, he focuses intently and.
Okay. So this is something that just happens in your mind and in your ranger's like relationship with nature. There's no
Yeah.
like verbal or somatic component where you have to like do stuff that would be visible.
He probably subconsciously does something with his frill.
Okay.
Yeah, like frill goes like narrow and straight. Like frill turns into a mohawk
Mm-hmm.
for just a second, and then it goes back down.
I like it. Mal, top of the order.
So Mal has already appeared and showed that he is an elf.
Does Watherin get a turn?
Oh. Wait, Fennetir went. Why did I say Tashash? Yes, Weathern, you should have gone before Tashash.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if the surprise attack or something did something for that. Okay, cool.
No, like that.
Watherin wants to
Giant spent its turn speaking to you.
say it again.
The giant spent its turn speaking to you, saying,
Okay.
it's the same magic, it's the same magic.
Okay. Watherin wants to do his best at least to show that Fennetir is not, is not doing that. And he points at Mal and says, some among us have dark influences, but we are not here for you. We only are trying to pass by you. Please just let our ship pass. We are not here to harm or hurt you or anyone you know. Basically, anything you can to persuade him that we're not hostile. We just want to, what can we give you? We just want to pay for passage through your territory.
Dark. Dark.
Now it's
saying
Mal's
it's
turn.
not dark.
Mal just like puts his hand down. He was pointed in the giant's direction. He just kind of puts his hand down, puts his hands on his hips, like dark influences. Really, really, you're gonna play your god's better than my god. Of course you are. Dark,
Veneteer, it's your turn.
deadly, lethal influences.
I cast. I say blessings upon you, and everybody is blessed except me.
Does it include Barkus?
Yeah, Barkus.
Does it include the giant?
I get 4. Oh no, not the giant.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I can only do 3, so not Barkus. Sorry, Barkus.
The giant says, yes, it is that one.
And
And
Mal ostentatiously sticks his hands in his pockets.
the giant takes his club and swings at 16 versus Mal.
Okay.
Does that hit?
No, that thumps into my breastplate, but Mal is able to kind of lean back and glance the blow off of his breastplate. And he throws his hands up and he says, "A demon would attack you back. I, a man, ask you for parley after you have swung the blow." And Mal kind of spreads his hands apart and leans forward.
The
Can
giant.
can he make like a persuasion check or something like that?
On your turn.
Yeah, that's what I want to do for my turn. You said that I could have a turn.
No, it's the stone giant's turn. And what it does for the rest of its turn is it reaches down and it. I didn't say it was your turn. You're first, and then Fennetir, and then the stone giant, and then Weatherin, and then Tashash. So it's the stone giant's turn. Weatherin and
Sorry,
Tashash.
I thought you had given me a turn. Sorry.
So the stone giant then reaches over and picks up one of his stones and like lifts it up above his head, very threateningly. Weatherin.
Okay. Weatherin orders Mal to go back to the boat. Go to the boat. Get
Mal,
out of
as
here.
soon as his turn comes up, starts moving back.
And tells again, still trying to be somewhat diplomatic in the face of this stuff. Basically, sorry, I'm just looking at my spells and okay. Basically tells Mal to go back to the boat and continues to attempt to persuade the giant that we mean him no harm and are only trying to seek passage, are willing to compensate him for it, and there you go.
Make your persuasion check.
Okay. Let's see.
Mal, you make a persuasion check too.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good time for a not natural 20.
14.
Tashash, you also have an opportunity to do something while Mal is I suppose, backing up towards the door, and Weatherin is talking at the giant.
And I wanted him to hear me command him to go away. Like
Right. Yeah, Mal did hear that. Tashash,
I mean the giant. I wanted the giant to hear.
oh yeah.
I'm at the bottom of the order, right? So it's not
You are indeed.
possible to delay my action.
how a delay is. So you cannot actually change your order in the action, but you can tell me that you want to set up an action to happen on a trigger, and that will be your reaction, which can happen on other people's turns.
Okay.
If you want to wait and hold action.
Um. Um. Yeah, I guess Tashash is gonna continue covering Barkus and maybe like I don't know, try to or like move him into cover or kind of like get it. He's gonna put himself in front of between the giant and Barkus.
So you're sort of standing in the doorway, and Barkus is behind you on the stairs inside.
Yeah. And yeah, I think, and then I think he'll I don't know if there's anything else I can do.
Okay, Mal, are you going to do as Weatherin said and go past
absolutely.
Josh? Okay.
And as soon as he's out of eyesight, he's going to cast invisibility on himself.
Fennetir,
Howdy.
you get a turn now.
I will once again cure wounds on Weatherin. For 5.
I have a question. Did I see Mal cast?
He went past you.
Okay.
I don't know, Mal. You're looking. It depends on where you're looking. I would assume that you're looking out onto the courtyard, and Mal cast the spell once he was behind you, so you probably didn't see it.
Okay.
But if Mal wants to let you know about it or be obvious about it,
no, he would have gotten out of eyesight of everybody on the field, and then cast it.
Okay.
Including Barkus,
including everybody, all the humans,
so
all the giants. But as soon as he's out of eyesight of everybody.
That's not hard because Barkus and Tashash are both riveted on the scene playing out on the roof.
Right.
Cool.
Okay, Fennetir. So Fennetir does another cure, and the giant gets this look of puzzlement, confusion. Says, this is that one's magic. Smells and looks exactly the same as the demons who've been attacking me. Look down there, and he points, Weatherin. He points you down at the wrecked boat. Says, I wrecked one of their boats down there. They come at me with magic like that. They're going all over the place, and I'm the outpost. I'm meant to defend the others. I can't let evil forces like that get by me. I'm confused about you guys. What are you?
My turn to talk.
Yeah, we're out of
Okay.
initiative.
Okay,
He puts
great.
his club down, or he puts the rock down. He puts his club over his shoulder, not in a brandishing way, but in a rest position.
Yeah.
He's still cautious, and he's suspicious of you.
Mhm.
He's ready to thwack you at any time, but he's not currently fighting you.
Okay. Watherin also, puts himself. He doesn't let go of his sword or anything, but he puts himself at ease, kind of mirroring the position, and
Body
says,
language.
"What's that?"
The body language.
Yeah, mirroring the body language, and says, "Sir, I am not in charge here, my superior is right here, and he will gladly tell you about what our ship is doing, what we're trying to do. I will let you know the one you saw is a hired hand that we took on to help us in hunting the sea creatures, the beasts, the kraken, whatever. And we are only trying to pass through, mean you no harm at all. If we see others who are, of evil intent, we're happy to, on your behalf, try to get them to go away. We're not looking for anything from you, no harm to you or anyone that lies beyond. We're going to, and I'll let my superior tell you about our mission. Is that okay?
And the giant looks at you very, very suspiciously and says, I have been told that I will regret my kind heart, but these dreams such as these... Okay, I will talk to your officer. And with that, we are going to bring episode 7 to a close.
Hey, real quick, just because I rolled a 21 and I don't want to waste it, to see if there's anything sitting around that looks broken.
Yes.
Keeping in mind the last shot of the entire episode is going to be Finnetir's eyes narrowing as he spots a broken thing in the room.
Yeah, the big pile of throwing stones have chipped some of the tiles beneath them.
Okay. Good to know.
Couldn't have been like a toilet or a garbage disposal.
There's a really broken ship down there.
Yeah, not like that. Something small and nearby.
Its mast is half off.
That's too much.
Okay.
Like
So-
a mast with a really bad sunburn spot, like the paint's really peeling.
Weatherin,
Yeah,
did you take any risks to help your friends or shipmates? I should think so.
I would say so.
Mark 1 experience for that.
Okay.
Is there any special way that you helped in the hunt for Enma the Silver Squid?
I don't know. I agreed to go after the squid and help.
I think that counts.
I committed myself or something.
I think, you know what? I think that the discussion that you guys had is good for the 3 experience points for all of you this episode.
Okay.
You all get the 3 experience points because you committed yourselves. You made some real progress towards all of those things. But we should talk about fate points. Weatherin, I think that you expressed. I think that you definitely get a fate point for your role in that conversation.
Okay.
Tashash.
So Tashash has switched into survival mode, specifically in response to what's it? To Finnetir talking about the
Ship being destroyed.
the ship being destroyed and the rocks falling on it. And when a giant started throwing actual rocks on it, that was why he was so eager to get on the boat with to get into the party, the outboard party.
You didn't want to get hit with rocks on.
He saw an opportunity to get off the ship that was going to be destroyed and to get out of the line of sight of literal falling rocks.
Interesting.
And
Okay,
so
yeah.
he
Take a fate
instinct
point.
kicked in.
Take a fate point for that. Fennetir,
No, I don't think so.
you didn't. I thought. Well,
Right? Because it's supposed to make my view of fate is supposed to
if I
harm
enjoy myself enough, I won't have to think about what fate has in store for me.
and I'm kind of trying to survive as opposed to
Yeah, but he
ignore.
totally did the whole making us clink together the little pieces of wood before we did the ceremony. Like everybody's got to work real hard to get into a chill vibe, and then this is fate. This is how we see it. Like he did the whole shamanic level demonstration of his fate disposition. I think he should roll a die. I mean, the man made us do a ritual. At least let him roll a d4.
For the record, Waverin didn't do it.
And I think Waverin
I
should
pictured
maintain a
it that
fate
you were
point for that.
doing it.
I think that Fennetir should get a fate point
A d4.
for the maracas, not a D4. You have to derail a
Not
whole episode.
maracas,
for me
it
to
was
let me roll.
clave.
Malmer,
Yes,
you,
I already got all three. So the fate question, I immediately stood up for the position that we should all start intertwining our fates and deciding what order to take them. And Mal was actually trying to find, Josh, was trying to find a good time to say, and the moment passed, and I missed the opportunity. But Mal was going to say, I go last, but by going last, might I suggest the order? And so that's what he's going to do.
you might have to have that conversation at some other time.
But he immediately did say, yes, this is good. We should collaborate about this, see the book thing. That's great. Anything that we can get to make us more powerful as a ship and come together, pit the power of God against God. Let's do this. That's Mal's fate disposition to a T.
Matt's frozen, I think. Oh, there he is.
Here I am. I'm back.
My persuasion was so persistent.
I think that you can have a scene where you talk about whatever, possibly next time.
Sure.
But we're going to start next episode on the top of this tower. Although actually, it might be interesting. We might have to cut back and forth between what Josh is doing and what the rest of the party is doing.
Yeah.
Also, no, go ahead.
So a fate point for Josh, you were deciding?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I might mark one fate point for that. Okay, that is all for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Tune in this same time next week for another exciting episode. And remember, failure is beautiful.
But success sure does smell good.